So we're going to talk about ICP today. We're going to look at some actual metrics and some websites that you can find this information on so you can follow it in the future. Generally speaking, we want to see that things are going, as they say, up and to the right. If you don't know what that means, basically, if you look at a chart of anything in a business, if it's revenue over time, and then you've got money on the other axis, you want to see over time, month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year, that revenue's going up, sales are going up, customer, whatever, acquisitions going up, you name it. So we're going to look at actual stats. This is early February, and because so many things are down in price, ICP's down quite a bit. And I've seen a lot of people wondering why, that sort of thing. I'm not worried. It's one of my biggest holdings. Let's talk about it. We'll go through three major things. First, if you're new to ICP, first, my disclaimer. Don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. Big dumb animal. Okay. Essentially, ICP says this: anything can be built on the ICP blockchain, and it can be done all on chain. You can host the code, the data, everything, and not have to go outside of the chain, so it's very secure, and they have a multitude of things you can do. This is one reason why I think some people get confused about ICP, because they read about what it's doing and they're thinking, oh, how can it do this and that and the other thing? Well, it's a layer one chain where you can build everything on chain. Okay, let's get to the stats and the info. First, the token, know this, ICP has a circulating supply and it can be the max supply of tokens can be infinite because they're constantly adding tokens as rewards and whatnot. At the same time, they're also burning tokens. We'll talk about that. So at the moment, total supply, 529 million, circulating supply, 480 million. At the time of this recording, it's $7, which is significantly below, I think, my average price. And I have such a big holding that I don't want to move money or have enough money to really significantly bring down my price. I wish I could get it at $7. Not going to happen. Okay, so that's the basic tokenomics. Now, credit where credit is due. I saw this individual this account on X.com, Crypto Froggy, and I thought what they put out was really interesting. They talk about two things: the supply of ICP, 530 million, we just talked about, 235 million locked away. I'll show you where to find that. 143 of that for 8 years. I'll explain what that is. And then they talk about the burn rate. Okay. So of the two sites, the first we're going to go to, again, link down below, Internet Computer's dashboard. This is, let's go to the main page. Lots of information here. You can dig through it. But right here, total supply, 529 million. Circulating supply, 480 million. I always like to double check. 529, 480. Things are jiving. That's good. Now, if we look at the supply itself, you can click into these if they're hyperlinked, and you can look at total ICP burned. Now, this is very interesting. As I said, ICP is both inflationary and deflationary. Here's what that means. Inflation comes from new tokens that are minted as rewards for network participants. So those rewards are minted and given out, which increases the supply. Okay, now conversely, the deflationary mechanism is when the tokens are burned for things like network operations, such as converting ICP into cycles for the decentralized applications. So what does that mean? Why do you care if it's inflationary or deflationary? Well, obviously, if there's more of something, it's not becoming scarce, so the price will probably drop if the supply just keeps going up and up and up forever. But if it's deflationary, then some of that supply is going away. So what we want to see is that over time, more is being burned than is being created. So if 1,000 new ICP are being minted every day, we would want to get to a point where, let's say, 2,000 are burned every day. Now you can see here from this total ICP burn chart of all time, let's just do a year. You can see in the last year where it has increased significantly. And like I said, it's way up and to the right. That's what we want to see. It's not to the point. If you look down here, you can see ICP supply. I put it on a 1 month. So every time I move to the right is another day. That's the easiest way to do it. So otherwise, if you put it on like 7 days, when you move, you'll get multiple data points in the same day. So for example, here is 1/27/2025, and it looks like circulating supply 480,056,000. Okay. So if we click go one to the right, it's 480.55. It went down a little bit that day. Then the next day it went to 60. Well, that went up by 5,000. Okay. Then the next day it went to 86, up by 26,000. Okay. So we just want to see that it's going to be burning, and it will over time become completely deflationary, burning more. All right. So that was in terms of the supply. That's good. We want to see that burn rate taking off, which it is. The other thing they're talking about is value locked. It says value locked, but it's the number that's being staked. So this is the chart right here. They're talking about 44% of total supply. The total circulating supply was what? 480,000, almost 480 million circulating supply. Of that, almost 235 million is locked up. If you've ever seen where you can stake your crypto on some platforms, depending upon what it is, you can stake and unstake very quickly. You can unstake within minutes or a day. Sometimes it says it'll take a week or it'll take a month. Well, you can intentionally stake here with ICP for a very long period of time. You've got these options here. So that leaves only 245 million in actual circulation because so much is staked. That's a big deal. And he pointed out that a large amount was staked for the longest duration here. You have 0 to 6 months, 6 to 12, 1 to 2 years, all the way down to 8 years. Each one of these lines represents one. You want to get rid of one, you just click it. So you watch this, you click it, the 8 is gone. All right. But if you want to look at everything, and you want to look at today, 143 million is for 8 years. That's a long period of time. So those tokens are no longer in circulation. More being staked, more being burned, less tokens available. Now, of course, there is fully diluted value, which is different than what's in circulation, but it can make a difference. Okay, that's all on the dashboard. Now, and that's with respect to the tokens themselves. Let's look at fees, revenue, and developer commits, and that would be on the Tokenomics site. If you haven't done this before, I'll have the link down below. You go up to the top, you can search. I searched for ICP. Here it is. And over here on the right side, let me see if I can pull these up. Yeah, on the right side, you can choose what you want to show. Scroll down, there's fees. These, as you can see, this is a 365-day, 1-year chart. Look at the difference between last year and around September time till now. We've got fees peaking around, what's that, almost 200,000. So, and it looks like, I don't know, draw a line here, maybe 60,000 or 75,000. Doesn't matter. Significantly up and to the right. Actually, from nothing to something and to a lot. That's great for fees. The other thing I think is interesting is core developers. I actually have to turn fees off. The number of developers developing, it's well over 100. And then we've got code commits, actually committing code. You see these drops, which are usually a Saturday and Sunday, but it's like 78 commits, 84 commits. So you've got activity on the network itself. Okay, last thing we're going to look at is the price. But I want to say this. Finally, now that crypto is maturing, we can take your typical analysis of a company and apply it to crypto because it is essentially the same model. It's a business. So we looked at the tokenomics, what's available, what's in circulation, what's being staked. And to me, the more people staking for a longer period of time says that they have a belief that this will be worth significantly more in the future. Now they're getting rewards, but still they're doing it because they think, hey, it's going to be worth more in the future. If they thought it was going to drop to zero, they wouldn't be staking for months, years, up to 8 years. So that says that there are a lot of people. I mean, that's 235 million of the total 580 million. So whoever owns that is saying, I believe in this for a long period of time. Okay, that's good. And then we look at fees and revenue, and that's taken off significantly. And then we're looking at developers and people using the service in the network. Kind of goes hand in hand with fees because you're burning the ICP for cycles and compute time. And now we're seeing people using it. To me, those are the metrics we want to see for any crypto. And we're seeing them all here on ICP, and they're going up and to the right. The price, however, has gone down into the toilet. Now, this is not, if you look at the total market at the moment, the total crypto market is around, this blue line here represents the high of the last market run, which was around 3 trillion. And it's gone over 3 trillion, up to 3.8, but then it's come back almost to touch that 3 trillion and then again. So many things are down at the moment that I'm recording this, and so is ICP. Now, this was a lot of FOMO when it first came out. You can see the price was 400, 500. So this is a weekly chart. I don't even look at that. Let's look at the run up here after that sold off was around, let's say, $80. And then we'll move forward to today and where we are. And I said that was a weekly. Let's just keep it on a weekly. It was just the summer of last year when everything ran up and it touched over $20, $21. And now it's about $7. I can't tell you how much I wish I could get this price. Mine's slightly higher. If we just reach last summer's price, your $7 that's a 3x, just right there. There are many people that believe it's going to hit last time's peak, maybe even higher. They're not comparing last time's peak, but I've seen predictions $120, $200, you name it. But even if it just hit, let's say, $70, well, you'd be looking at obviously a 10x. I believe from here that that's definitely possible. We know that you can build everything on chain. It's getting a lot more attention, particularly with this new Caffeine AI launch that's coming up, where it'll write code for you. And now we were able to look at things like actual fees, actual revenues, developers and people using it, the tokenomics, what's being staked. And it seems to me that all of those things are pointing in the right direction. Again, I think I said in the beginning, I own it. I'm always transparent. Actually, come to think of it, I saw a video the other day of a crypto YouTuber that I like a lot. And this may have been a couple weeks ago. And they went through their portfolio. And it was maybe 8 or 10 crypto. Nothing wrong with that. But I had watched many videos where they talked about all kinds of crypto and none of them were in their portfolio. And that's fine. But I think it's important that we always say, if you're like watching me, I tell you if I own it or not at that point in time. Who knows? I could sell it as soon as I turn this off. I have no intention, but you don't know that. Anyway, love it. I think this is a great price, but who knows? Could go down more. I was talking to someone the other day and I basically said, I'm trying not to buy too much more at the moment because I haven't seen some of the indicators like Bitcoin dominance come down yet. So I don't know if the bottom is in. I do think this is a good price, but it could fall even more before we actually have a bull run, assuming we do. Thanks for watching. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Have a good day.